time to grow with the SEO Queen. Receive the perfect leads like never before. No traffic is gonna explode. It's time to grow.
Welcome to the SEO Queen Tech Show, a podcast to help you get more credibility, visibility, and profitability through inspiration, technology, and marketing insight. This podcast is for professionals and entrepreneurs who are looking to get more customers, clients, and patients on Bashani Radio, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Bashani Radio, always talking about everything from New York City. You can listen to the SEO Queen Tech Show on any mobile phone or tablet device. Also, as a thank you gift for listening to the SEO Queen Tech Show, you can go to SEOqueen.com and book a complimentary strategy session. Just go to SEOqueen.com and book a Reach More Clients Power session. Now, before we get started and before I introduce our guest, I want to let you guys know that time is ticking. On Saturday, July 22nd of this year, we're having the Reach More Clients Power Conference in the beautiful Inglewood, California. I just love saying California, and it's going to be awesome. The Reach More Clients Power Conference is amazing. It's going to be an opportunity for you to work on your business without distraction and also network with other like-minded entrepreneurs and make some connections. I'm going to be hosting and your keynote speaker for the event, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure you go to SEOqueen.com/conference to book a ticket. Now, my guest today is so inspirational. I heard her speak in Chicago at the Juneteenth Legacy Conference hosted by JJ Conway. And this woman is a phenomenal business strategist and coach. She's the CEO and founder of iSimplyShe.com. I want to present to some and introduce to others none other than Krystal Vernee. How are you, Krystal?
I'm doing well. Hey, C, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I want to, and there's so many things I want to ask you about because your story is just so compelling, like everything you went through. And so I'm gonna just start, like, how did you navigate the resistance that you experienced as an entrepreneur? Because your entrepreneur story is a lot different than my own. I had support and still have support from my father, my mom, my family, but that wasn't the case for you. So how did you navigate that?
Yeah, well, I will say it was pretty tough. But I think one of the things that got me through or helped me to level set, was that I kind of just knew that I had experienced success before. Like I was a very good student in
Mm-hmm.
school. And so one of the things that I prided myself on was actually being a good student, being into science and math, and just having that goal of like, okay, if I just continue to do well in school, I can get out. Like that was my whole motivation growing up, was like all I got to do is just do well in school to get a scholarship so that I can get out, and then I'll continue to be able to pursue my dreams. So I kind of just kept that in the back of my head that like if I was able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
I can do anything. And so
Right.
just keeping kind of like the moment that I experience success, or the moments or instances that I experience success, in the back of my mind to say, you can do this. You've done it before.
That's awesome. So you let your desire for success outweigh, the desire to please your immediate family and circle around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not gonna lie, it was very tough, but that was one of the things that I held on to during that time.
Awesome. So my next question to you is, knowing that you had so many challenges to build this amazing brand, iSimplyShe.com, like when you're coaching other individuals who are just starting their brand, like what are some of the obstacles that you see that they encounter that you help them to work through?
Yeah, I think I tend to attract multi-passionate, multi-talented entrepreneurs. So a
Mhm.
lot of the times people come to me, they don't know what they want to do. I think
Okay.
that's like the one of the biggest challenges that we have to work through is like what to do first, because they also see me and I have 4 brands, and it's kind of like I have to explain to them, this is not how I started. I started with one brand, and then I grew that to be self-sufficient, and I started the other brands that I have today. And there's some more in the works that I haven't been announced yet, but that's like the main challenge in this, kind of really helping them to really identify what their zone of genius is. I think people have a tendency to want to do what seems successful or what's popular on the internet, or what they feel like is get rich quick.
Right.
And when you're in entrepreneurship, there's nothing that's going to be get rich quick about it, or fast,
Mhm.
or you have to be really patient when it comes to entrepreneurship in terms of like your progress.
Right.
So really helping people honing in on what they know how to do, because that's going to get you where you want to be quicker. If you're having to learn a new skill and learn all the things that it takes to run a business, you're already starting behind. Respect the person who started a business and having the knowledge and expertise already. They
Right.
know what the subject matter is that they're trying to sell, or what they're doing. They just
Right.
got to figure out the back end. You're trying to do both.
Right. That is definitely huge for me because, I come from a background of, my dad was a software engineer, my mom a network administrator. So I've always been around computers. So for me to build a website and to build a business offering that service and SEO, it wasn't a question on how to get the job done. It was a question on what's the most effective way to market and to do customer service. It's like the
Mhm.
mechanic. That has definitely been a challenge over the years, but I'm pushing through like yourself, pushing through. So I want to know from you, like, when a person they know they want to go into business, right? And like, give me, because I know there's a lot of pieces that need to happen. Like, they need to have, a plan to get their LLC or S corp. They need to decide, are they going to incorporate in Delaware, or if they're going to do that, they need to have their agent representative. And I mean, there's just a lot of things that go with, starting a business out of state when you're in a different state and with taxes and everything. So besides like the tax structure and a cute logo, like, what other things does a business owner have to have in order to come to market?
Yeah, so one of the first questions I ask my clients is why? Why are you doing this? Because that ultimately will tell me if we're a good fit to work together, number one. But number two, it tells me like, or also I'll sometimes give that person another insight, really like the drive and the motivation behind why they want to be in entrepreneurship.
Right.
Are you doing it just because you think it's glamorous, or are you doing it because you want the time freedom, you have bigger goals, you want to give back, you want to leave a legacy? Like, what does that really look like? So the first thing I have to stress for people is figure out what the why is, besides all the other pretty stuff, because you're gonna have to lean on that why so many times throughout your entrepreneurship journey. I think the other thing that you need to go to market is a product to sell.
Mhm.
And I know that may sound, a little strange, but I have seen many entrepreneurs, and I kind of have to blame social media for this, or the internet, but people are trying to come to market without an actual product or service to sell. So they're coming to just say, hey, I'm a graphic designer, or hey, I'm a coach, and there's nothing else. So while you are introducing yourself to the
I
world as,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
uh,
I'm gonna
uh,
say it. I know you can't say it. I can say that because I don't. Your target audience is not mine. Because it's like, come to me with your idea of fully formed and bearing fruit, and then I can scale it from there. Fully formed and bearing fruit. But I love
listen,
it though, because it takes patience. It takes so
yeah.
much patience to take, this desire to launch a brand with someone's gifts and make it like do something.
Yeah, I always tell people it's an iterative process. This
Iterative.
is
I
not,
like
this
that.
is,
Can you expound upon that iterative process?
yes, business in general is an iterative process, but to really make your brand what it is an iterative process from beginning to end. So you have this idea in your head, like that's the beginning of the iteration, right? That's iteration. Let's call it iteration 0. That's the idea. And for
Right.
those of y'all who in the tech space, y'all are like, "Oh Lord, here she go with this." But
Oh, I'm
you
right there
you
with you. I'm right
you
there with
like you birth your idea. You like let it come out into the market or come out into the world, and then from there you start to learn. So you talk to your customers, you start to market your business, you sell a little bit, and you're like, it would be better if, and that would be iteration 1. Like you moved on from just being an idea, and now it's
Right.
actually something, you're earning money.
Mm-hmm.
um and I always tell people, what do you want your business to be when it grows up? Or I ask that question, like, what do you want it to be when it grows up? Like, where do you really see it? And it's going to take some time and take steps to really get there. So what you launch on day 1 is not going to be, or iteration 0 is not going to be the same as iteration 10, and nor should it be. But it really does take you doing the research, having professional development, hiring coaches and mentors, and really getting in there and taking your client feedback to heart, improving your client experience to make your brand really what it is. And if you're not doing that, right, if you're not doing that, then you're not evolving and your brand is not going to be relevant. So I think it's really important to think of business and entrepreneurship as an iterative process and not a one and done. You're always going to be improving upon what you do, how you show up, how you serve your clients. And you should strive to do that, honestly, if you want to have a premium brand.
Right, right. So that iterative process is definitely key. I think I see a lot of business owners that get kind of stuck because they're like, my business isn't, it's not perfect. Everything isn't the way I want it to be. And it's never going to be the way you want it to be. I have to tell you, I have to laugh because when I go back and I look at how my website for my company looked first launched, and
Hmm.
some of the copy and some of the graphics from when I first launched till now, I just have to laugh to myself. I need to make a reel where I just show the evolution of my brand over time so people know that this is truly an iterative process. But
Yeah.
Krystal is like, how, like, besides, like, business owner, they know what structure they want. They finally decide what product and service they're going to do. They accept the reality that it is an iterative process. Now what next?
So they got the product, they got the service. They need to go ahead and put it out there. Like put it out there, right? And I think the next step is going to be your business strategy and your marketing, right? So your how you formulate your business and what you're selling is going to be part of your business strategy. The next piece is to think about an offer suite from there. How is your business going to earn? How is it going to be profitable? How is it going to be sustainable? So when you first start, it's all about generating revenue. Not that it that ever ends, but ultimately, if you want your business to be bigger than you have to learn how to earn. And the faster you're able to do that, the faster you'll be able to grow your business, which is why I talk to my clients about multiple streams of income. So it's kind of like you found one way to make money. Now, how can we turn this skill set into multiple streams so that you're able to grow this beyond you?
Okay, so when you talk about so you can earn,
Mhm.
like getting to the point where you can create those multiple streams of income, um, I get the feeling from a lot of business owners that they're not um, familiar with all the business models that they could possibly apply to their
Mhm.
products and services. And so, what advice do you have for business owners who need to productize their business more so they can segment the market and obtain more revenue?
Yeah, so a lot of times it does, if you don't have that, I can't really call it visionary because I think in some way we all have like a visionary capability, but you do
Mhm.
need a strategist. You do need someone that has that brain that can take what you have and say, okay, this thing that you do can be a course. It could be live. It could be self-paced. It could be a workshop. It could be a conference. You could have two products here. This could be an upsell. Like, you need someone to be able to look at what you have and turn it into those multiple streams of income. But not only that, but also be able to strategize how you can increase your revenue over time.
Right.
So I think that actually is a skill set that is worth learning, like for each entrepreneur. And not everybody's gonna master that, but I think having that eye to say, okay, I've created this product and I'm going to deliver it, right, however many times. After I deliver it once or twice, now I've gotten, like you said, I've gotten a model. What else could this be, or how else could this be monetized so that this it increases the revenue in our business? So I think it's basically just getting in the habit of looking at the things that you create, offers or products that you create,
Right.
and always looking at the different ways in that it could be sliced and diced, or things could be added onto it to generate more revenue.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have to think about, just, my journey as you're talking, and it's true. It's like, when I first started, I thought we were just going to do a little SEO for people for, $200 a month. And that quickly changed. So we have ebooks, we have events, we have a learning community that we've been building, and so many other things. So I know it's definitely a game changer to really see all the different ways you can slice and dice your value proposition.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are three things that you would advise new business owners to do to bring their products and service to the market?
Yeah, first thing, you gotta define your brand. So mission, vision, core values. Though, like, those things are super important and play a huge role in you differentiating yourself from your competitors. The second, get to know and identify your target market. And I mean, get to know them really, really well. What's important to them, what they value, what their challenges are. And then the third thing is going to be to do market research. So, actually taking that idea and testing it with your ideal clients or with your target market. Are they actually going to buy it? Because a lot of times it's not a bad idea. It's just that the people that you're targeting, or the segment that you're targeting, doesn't want to buy it right now,
Right.
right? And a lot of factors go into that, but having those things together, all together, basically gives you an indication of whether or not it's going to be a viable offer in the market right now, which is super important when you're trying to launch something. Wouldn't it, like, how would it make you feel if you knew for a fact the thing that you were getting ready to release was going to sell, versus putting something out there and hearing crickets or not really knowing? So I always tell people that they want to make sure they're releasing viable products or services to market, so that they have that indication there is a way to do that. It doesn't all have to all be a guessing game. Not saying that, because marketing is a science,
Right.
right?
Right.
There's some experimentation going on there, but there is a way to kind of narrow that margin in terms of, like, uncertainty, when you're bringing your products and services to market.
Yeah, I mean you're right, because I remember when I first launched SEO Queen, I was mainly focused on SEO, and then when I did some market research, I realized that there was a huge need for websites, and that's when we started building websites for clients, and it has been a very big stream of income for our company year over year. 'Cause people always
Mm-hmm.
need a website or a new website or changes to their existing site. So
Right.
that's something that we definitely uh, have personal experience with. So, how can people connect with you? How can they follow you on social media and check out your company?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram at I_simply_she. Facebook at I Simply She. I'm on LinkedIn at Krystal Vernee, and you can always visit my website at www.isimplyShe.com.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast, the SEO Queen Tech Show. I think what you're doing is awesome. I'm going to have you come on again because you have a lot you could share. We just scratched the surface. Yeah, but I definitely want to thank you so much for just blessing me with your presence and my listeners with your wisdom and insight when it comes to business. I hope if we have any new business owners, aspiring business owners, veteran business owners listening, I hope you were taking notes and took what Krystal Vernee had to say to heart. And I want to thank you for listening to the SEO Queen Tech Show. This is a podcast to help you get more credibility, visibility, and profitability through inspiration, technology, and marketing insight. This podcast is for professionals and entrepreneurs who are looking to get more customers, clients, and patients on Vashani Radio, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Vashani Radio, always talk about everything from New York City. And don't forget, we have our SEO Queen conference, the Reach More Clients Power Conference, coming up on Saturday, July 22nd. And before we sign off for the episode, I just want to ask you, Krystal, do you have any final remarks that you want to share?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the show. And just for anybody that's listening and they're wherever you are in your entrepreneurship journey, just remember that whatever you're seeking, whatever you're working towards, all things are possible. Just don't give up.
Well, on that note, thank you so much. That's awesome.
It's time to grow with the SEO Queen.